Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Meyer here, and today, we're going to unlock a really simple secret. One of those little things that can make you sound so much more fluent in English. It's a tiny change, seriously, but it makes a massive difference in how you sound in a real conversation. See that? See what I just did right there? That little phrase at the end? Don't you? Well, that's what we call a question tag. And trust me, by the end of our chat today, you are going to be a pro at using them. Absolutely. All right, so first things first, what in the world is a question tag? The easiest way to wrap your head around it, just think of it like a little echo at the end of your sentence. Yeah, an echo. It's this tiny question you pop on the end of a statement, maybe to double check something, or just to get the other person to agree with you. So the textbook definition? It's just a short question tacked onto the end of a sentence. Let's take an example. He is a teacher, isn't he? The main part, the statement, is he is a teacher. And that little echo we talked about, that's the isn't he? That's your question tag. Pretty simple, right? Okay, listen up, because if you only remember one thing from our entire session today, make it this. This is the golden rule, the big secret. I like to call it the rule of opposites. And the best way to remember it? Think about magnets. You know how opposites attract? Well, it's the exact same idea for sentences and their question tags. So let's see how this actually works. It's super straightforward. If your main sentence is positive, like he is happy, then the tag at the end has to be negative, isn't he? And you guessed it, if the sentence is negative, like he isn't happy, then the tag needs to be positive, is he? So, positive statement, negative statement, positive tag. That's it. That is the heart of the whole thing.
And you know what's so cool about this rule of opposites? It's like a master key. It works for basically all the main verbs in English. It doesn't matter if you're using verbs like is or play or even past tense like went or modals like can. The pattern just works. She is smart, isn't she? They play cricket, don't they? See? The rule always applies. It's fantastic.
Okay, another really important point. I call it the matching game. The little pronoun you use in your tag has to be buddies with the subject of the sentence. They have to match up. So if your sentence starts with Rita, the tag has to use she. If you're talking about the boys, your tag needs to use they. That little echo has to be a perfect mirror of the subject. Super important. All right, so we've got the main rule down. But every family has those quirky cousins, right? The ones who do their own thing. Well, English grammar is no different. It's time to meet the quirky cousins of question tags. These are the special cases, the exceptions that don't quite follow the main rule. But don't worry, once you get to know them, they're actually pretty easy to handle. So let's take a look at these characters. First up, the I am rule. If you say I am your friend, the tag is aren't I? Yeah, I know, it feels a little weird, doesn't it? But trust me, that's the correct way. Next, when you make a suggestion with let's, like let's go for a walk, the tag is always shall we. Always. Then we have commands or orders. If you say open the door, you add will you at the end. And last but not least, words like nobody or nothing. These words are kind of sneaky because they're already negative. So, nobody came gets a positive tag, did they? Just memorize these few oddballs and you'll be golden. Okay, you're doing great. Time for the final boss battle. Just kidding. But this is the final challenge. Let's look at a couple of common traps that a lot of people fall into, especially on tests. If you can avoid these, you'll really sound like you know what you're doing. So here's trap number 1. It's a classic. When you have a sentence like, I am late, your brain logically thinks the tag should be, amn't I, right? It just makes sense. And you might even hear people say it. But technically, in proper standard English, it's a no-go. It's considered incorrect. So what's the right way? Well, remember our first quirky cousin? The correct version is aren't I. This is probably the number 1 special case you just have to burn into your memory. I am late, aren't I? And here we go, trap number 2. This one is all about let's. So when we say let's start, some people might add the tag will we, but it just feels a bit off, doesn't it? It doesn't quite have that, that friendly, we're in this together vibe that let's is supposed to have. The right way, the polite way, the way that just sounds perfect is, of course, shall we? Let's start, shall we? That is the one and only tag that you should ever use with a sentence that starts with let's, period. Whew, okay, let's boil this all down. I've got a super simple 4-step checklist for you. Ready? Step 1, positive sentence, use a negative tag.
Step 2, negative sentence, use a positive tag. Step 3, see I am, your tag is aren't I. Step 4, see let's, your tag is shall we. That's it. Seriously, that's the whole system right there. 4 easy steps.
And to make it even easier for you, here is the complete chart. It's got everything we just talked about all in one place. I'd say right now is the perfect time to pause and grab a screenshot. Go on, do it. Think of it as your personal cheat sheet, your secret weapon for mastering question tags.
See? I told you it was simple. It's really just one main rule, the rule of opposites, and a couple of quirky cousins to remember. And now, you have the secret. You know how to use question tags just like a native speaker. That was a really great lesson, wasn't it? Keep on practicing, and thanks so much for joining me today.